All right, so here we're going to talk about bases. So aqueous solutions of aqueous. That's really funny. Aqueous solutions of bases. So remember, aqueous means that it's dissolved in water. Okay. Strong bases dissociate, which again means break up completely into OH and whatever, ion it was with. So if we take a look at this first one here, we see that it's NaOH. All right, and we know that it's Na because Na is a group 1 element. It's going to be +1. We know OH is together because it's a hydroxide, and that's going to be our -1. And you can see what we did over here after the arrow. We just basically broke them apart. Okay. Also, notice that it's just a single-headed arrow because it's a strong base. All right, so you just use the one arrow whenever it's strong acid or strong base, and then you use a double-headed arrow if it's a weak acid or a weak base. Okay, so there's a couple strong bases that you need to memorize, just like the strong acids. There are other bases that are strong, but these are kind of like the defined strong bases. So it might not look like there's a lot in common with these, but if we flip to the next slide, the big hint with this is if you take a look at all of these, the first element is either in group 1 or group 2. So if we take a look at this one, all right, group 1, it starts with sodium, and then it's basically all of these. And then in group 2, it's calcium and then basically all down. So if you take anything in group 1 like potassium, and we know it's in group 1, so that means it's +1, and we combine it with hydroxide, that's going to give us OH -1, okay? And that's going to give us a strong a strong base. The same thing's true over here, but these are all +2, right? So if we had strontium's +2, we would need 2 of the hydroxides. So it would be OH, we'd need 2 of them. So that's when we do the parentheses and then a 2 there, okay? So if you want to, and I highly recommend, you just kind of memorize that it's group 1 and group 2, but you just ignore the first 2 in each of those groups there, all right? Everything else is going to be your strong bases. And again, if we go back, you can see here's sodium, then it goes potassium, rubidium, cesium. Francium's not on the list just because there's not a lot of francium in the world. But if if it shows up on a test or something and you say, all right, it's strong, that's fine. It's not going to show up on a test because I'm not going to give you that one. Same thing with the calcium. So if you go calcium, strontium, barium, all of those are good. This doesn't, the radium doesn't really exist too much. We're not going to see it on a test or anything, so we're not going to have to worry about the bottom 2. But it's okay just to remember, everything below sodium and below calcium would be strong. Okay, those are the strong bases.